Imagine a country that operates less like a functioning government and more like a perfectly insulated monopolistic corporation. Look at Eswatini under the absolute rule of King Mswati III. The recent Swazi secrets leak exposed exactly how this kind of total control works in practice. The state's physical wealth, everything from the international gold trade to massive public construction contracts, is routed through business networks tied directly to the monarchy. This flowchart tracks the funds. The entity granting banking licenses also controls the financial intelligence unit, the regulator supposed to monitor these transactions. This creates a closed loop where prosecuting financial crime is structurally impossible. Referees report directly to the people they regulate. That level of state capture is obvious in an absolute monarchy. But these same modular tactics, controlling the referees, the money, and the narrative, are quietly being deployed to dismantle functioning democracies right now. If you want to dismantle a democratic system, your first target has to be the legal referees capable of stopping you. In Peru, a coalition of politicians managed this by manufacturing disciplinary cases to purge independent judges and prosecutors, guaranteeing themselves immunity from ongoing corruption investigations. You see the same mechanism in Tunisia, where the executive branch uses financial audits and arbitrary transfers to break the independence of the Magistrates Association. Once those legal guardrails are neutralized, the next necessary step is capturing the press to control the public narrative. Following the 2013 coup in Egypt, the state engineered complete control over broadcast media by funneling the country's prominent talk show hosts into state-linked media companies. But capture doesn't always require state contracts. In Australia, the government simply repealed cross-media ownership limits in 2017, opening the door for massive corporate consolidation. That single legal change allowed News Corp to swallow up 59% of the entire Australian print readership, creating a private information monopoly. Whether it happens through state-sponsored contracts or corporate consolidation, the goal is identical: eliminate any independent verification of elite power. So what happens when a dissident or a journalist manages to escape this domestic media control and crosses an international border? Neighboring governments are now stepping in to bypass international protections. We recently saw Georgia deport an Azerbaijani journalist straight back to domestic authorities, completely ignoring a European court protection order. And it escalates further. Anatol Katau, a Belarusian dissident, recently disappeared from a yacht in the Black Sea, suspected to have been intercepted in international waters by Allied security networks. Silencing dissent provides the cover necessary for the ultimate goal: the diversion of public funds into private hands. We can see the fallout of this institutional breakdown in Indonesia, where auditors recently flagged a massive $601 million Chromebook scandal under the former education minister. The same diversion of public goods happens via influence politics in the United States, where dark money groups fund trips for congressional aides, granting tech and pharma executives off-the-books access to shape federal policy. When the legal watchdogs are compromised and the press is captured, public policy and tax dollars inevitably become direct pipelines for elite private wealth. From the absolute monarchy of Eswatini to the courts of Peru to influence networks in America, the underlying blueprint for consolidating power relies on the exact same modular steps. This diagram illustrates modern democratic backsliding. It occurs through the methodical extraction of load-bearing pillars: independent courts, the press, and financial regulators. The International IDEA Report found the best defense requires designing resilient institutions that structurally resist this kind of interference. True democratic health is rarely measured by a leader's popularity. It relies entirely on the boring, unglamorous independence of financial auditors, local reporters, and lower court judges. Compromising these unglamorous safeguards allows the mechanics of state capture to take root, creating the same structural vulnerabilities seen in Eswatini's closed-loop system. Defending a free society requires obsessively defending the structural independence of institutions that hold power accountable.